Hello, everyone. Come on into the webinar. My name is Linda Peavy, and I'm going to be your host for this afternoon. And I am so glad that you decided to join because I have really important information to share with you about grants and how, yes, right now there are still grants available. Yes, even for your Black-owned organization or your Black-led nonprofit. So, welcome. Again, my name is Linda Peavy. I'm in Ohio. So let me know where you're coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. Let me know. Let me know where you are coming in from. Don't be shy. I see you coming in. So let me know what city and state. Hello, is it Shan or Chan from Freeport, Freeport, Illinois? Freeport, Illinois. Katrina from Pennsylvania. I used to live in Pennsylvania. Historical Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, not too far from Philadelphia. Hello, Sharon in beautiful Tampa. And Sonia is representing, is that Mississippi? I think that's South Haven, Mississippi. And Deborah is coming in from the ATL. All right, Cynthia from Willingboro, North, is it New Jersey? And Brooklyn is in the house. Brooklyn has shown up. Hello, Alanda. And I'm getting ready to butcher her name. Shatarika, is that it? Shatarika from Greenville. Look at Mississippi showing up. Shantarika is coming in from Mississippi. Hello, welcome, Mississippi. And let's see. Is it? I'm getting ready to butcher another name. Nagimbi? Is that right? Nagimbi from Philadelphia. Yes, I was living about 30 minutes west of Philadelphia in historical Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to get started because I have a lot of information to share with you. As you can tell, we are live. And so I'm getting ready to share my screen so that we can get started because I have a lot of information that you're going to want to know, but there's something I need for you to promise. I need for you to make me a promise that you are going to share this information, right? We have to be in this community together. So I'm going to be sharing information with you that you probably haven't heard before. So I'm going to need for you to share it. Like, don't keep it to yourself. Share with other Black, especially Black-owned organizations and Black-led nonprofits, because we all need this information to be circulated because at the end of the day, I am here to help you right now, not now, but right now, place yourself in position to get grants. All right. And yes, to win grants, not just write a bunch of grants. We're not here to write a bunch of grants to be rejected. I want you to start winning grants. All right. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Hey, Sonia says she's got her sister right there with her. That's right. Learn, sisters, learn. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I'm going to share my screen so hopefully you all can see my screen. So, yes, this is my grant writing for Black-owned businesses and Black-led nonprofits. This is my masterclass. This is my live noon session. And I don't know, some of you might have been with me for my Grant State of the Union. We had like over 900 people to register for that particular webinar. And some of you might be joining me because you saw me there. All right, so let me formally introduce myself. Yes, I am nicknamed the Grants Queen because I have won almost $20 million in grants for my clients. I have been a professional grant writer and instructor for 17 years. You know, you have to give your receipts up front now because there are a lot of scammers out here. All right, so 3 years ago, I created my grant writing school and it now serves over 3,000 students, including nonprofits and small businesses. I have trained over 30,000 organizations in grant writing. And yes, I now teach for some of your largest organizations in the country, including the Urban League, Goldman Sachs, the National Association of Women Business Owners. And I am a proud alumnus of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. Now, my undergraduate and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips, go Zips. And I truly consider to be my purpose and my mission to help organizations that look just like yours win grant funding. All right. Now, how did I get in this space? Because I didn't always used to be the grants queen. I was a publishing executive. That's why I was in Pennsylvania. And I was there for 10 years, traveling all over the world, flying like just beautiful destinations. And then the bottom fell out, as it sometimes does. And I got hurt. When I got hurt, I went from flying all over the world to putting everything I own in a storage unit and moving to Cleveland, Ohio. Had to move in with my sister. Literally came home in a wheelchair. Couldn't stand. It took me 2 years to recuperate. 2 years. So when I tell you, I know how it is to start from ground zero, because that's what I had to do. Because even after I was well, even after those 2 years of recuperating, I couldn't find a job. I was in Cleveland, right? I was a professional publisher in Pennsylvania. Cleveland is not the publishing mecca of the United States, all right? So I couldn't find a job. That's when I started Lapov Consulting. And it literally became such an experience for me because one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. So I want to know who is here with me today because I've been on both sides of the coin. I have a business now. I used to lead a nonprofit. So let me know in the chat, are you a nonprofit or are you a small business? Meaning you could be a sole proprietor, an LLC, a partnership, an S corp, or maybe you are both, because I am finding that a lot of small businesses are opening nonprofit arms. So let me know in the chat, who do I have with me? Nonprofit, small business, nonprofit, small business. Small, big business. That's right. Claim it, Katrina. She says, I have a small, big business. Nonprofit, small business. I ask you this so that you understand you're in the right place. There are grants for both. There are grants for nonprofits and there are grants for small businesses here in the right place. So back to my little story. I was the executive director of a nonprofit. Now, people who know me know I like to keep it real. All right, because we're all family today, right? Right? I like to keep it real. There are times when people who look like us are called in to do what? To save the program, to save the project, sometimes to save the entire organization. So if you know what I mean, give me a yes in the chat. So I'm the executive director of a nonprofit. I'm not even there 2 weeks before I'm being told that I had to write a grant that would save my job, that would literally pay for my salary for the entire year, thus saving the organization because this was like a one-woman operation, right? I had never seen a grant before. Oh, I'm seeing lots of yeses. You know what I mean, people. Yes, right. Happens all the time, Sharon. Yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean. I had never seen a grant before. And now I'm being asked to write a grant to save my job. Well, you know what? I did it. I researched, I wrote that grant. I won that grant. It paid for my job for the entire year. And I learned something. I learned one, that you can win grants with no experience. All right, I was able to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it today. Two, I learned what you can do with grant money. This is year 17 of me being in this industry, in the grants industry. I hear from you all the time. I know that you're tired of using your own money to pay for your passion, whether it's your nonprofit or your small business. You're tired of using your own money. You're also tired of wearing all 20 hats, right? Because you have to do everything, right? Grant money can relieve you of this. Grant money can allow you to hire help, to hire staff, to hire contractors, to pay for supplies. So why not use somebody else's money to help you with your passion, right? Because grants come from third-party resources, and guess what? You don't pay grant money back. So even once I left that nonprofit, I realized that grant writing was my most sought after service. So I went from winning $500 grants to winning $500,000 grants. I went from winning local grants to winning national grants to winning multi-year grants, right? And this all came from me being forced to write a grant with no experience, right? So You can do it. You see this truckload of money? I want you to claim this. Like I want your name to be on this truck. All right? All right. I want you to put your name on that truck because I'm here to tell you, you can do this. Even now, even with this grant, this crazy grant industry that we're in right now with everything that is happening, I'm going to show you a way through today, right? We're going to talk about why this class is so important for you right now. We're going to go through some grant basics. I'm going to show you how you prepare to apply for grants. I'm going to show you what you write in the application. How do you write it? How do you attract organizations right now that still want to give you as a Black organization funding? Because it's happening right now. And then how do you get noticed? I'm going to show you how to even conduct the grant research so that you can find out where to find the grants. And I'm going to show you some tips on using AI for your grants because too many organizations are using it wrong. And I've written the AI guide, right, on how you write grants using AI. All right. And then I have a bonus surprise, and then we're going to do a Q&A. Now, let me say something to you about the Q&A. People, this is not the time for you to be shy. This is your opportunity to ask a grants expert your questions about grants. So I need you to drop them into the chat. And just so you know, I don't do fluff. People who know me know I'm sorry, I don't do the fluff. All right, so this is a no fluff zone. You're about to learn today. All right, got it? All right. Now, why are we here? We're here because Black organizations need access to funding. And guess what? It shouldn't always be about loans. Are you as tired as I am of hearing about loans? We want grant funding because you don't pay grant funding back. All right. And I'm here to say to all of you that you can do this, right? You can do this. Grant writing is not what it used to be. That's why Katrina claimed it. It's already here. I'm going to show you why you're correct, Katrina. It is already, the money is already here. But you can do this. You can write grants. You can't get grant money unless you write grants. Grant writing is different. It's not what it used to be. You are not writing some 500-page document for 3 months. That's what I used to do. A lot of these applications now are literally 3 and 4 pages. One of my clients, Black organization, just won an $84,000 grant. She said, Linda, it was the easiest application I've ever completed. She's one of my grant writing students. She's following my framework. She's like, I couldn't believe it. 3 or 4 pages, $84,000, right? Why? Why is this happening? Because foundations don't have the staff to sit and read through 100 and 200-page documents anymore. That's why the grant applications are so short now. So you can do this, but you need to know that there is a process. And that's what I'm going to show you today. This is very important for you to understand. Winning grants is about more than what you write in the application. I'm going to say that again. Winning grants is about more than what you write in the application. There's a whole process, and that's what I'm going to show you today. All right? All right, we are ready to go. Now, let me tell you what's going on with the current grant landscape. Now, you've heard that the federal government, they've cut grants. They've cut DEI, right? But guess what? Federal grants do not equal all grants, people. This is a misinformation that's out there. Do you know that grants come from thousands of resources? Your private foundations, your community foundations, your family foundations, your corporate foundations. And yes, they give to small businesses and nonprofits. So you're covered. And this is why I need you to be encouraged, right? Because the money is available. And I'm going to show you just how much is available. All right. Now, here's the great news. Because of the federal grant cuts, your corporate, family, community, and foundations are literally stepping in to cover the funding that's been cut by the federal government. They're actually increasing their funding, increasing the amount of their grants, and increasing the number of grants provided. Because guess what? The need didn't disappear just because the federal government decided to cut grants. You know as well as I do, the need is as great as ever for whatever your organization is producing. And here's something else I want you to know. Do you know that your state and local governments are still giving grants? Do you know that wherever you live, your city government has grants? Did you know that? Have you met with them? Because not all state and local government funding comes from the federal government. Right now, there's a $30 million grant in the state of Ohio. There's a $20 million grant in the state of Michigan, right? This is the information that you need to know that you're not being told. The money is available. Place yourself in position to get it. All right. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Now, we know that the federal government has cut DEI grants, right? We know that DEI covers minorities, women of all ethnicities, veterans, the disabled. And so it's placing foundations in a very peculiar position because guess what? These communities, this is who they serve. This is who they give their grant money to. But the federal government is saying, you've got to cut out DEI. So what are they doing? They're not going to stop serving these populations, which includes you, by the way, but they also don't want to risk being right or feeling the wrath coming from the White House. So what are they doing? They're doing exactly what you're going to do, what I'm going to teach you how to do right now. You're going to tweak your language. In the grant industry, we call it quiet DEI because now you're going to switch. You know, you've heard of the code switching, right? We're going to switch. We're going to switch language. So instead of you always saying, I have a program for Black organizations or I have a program for women, you're going to talk about the conditions or the barriers that you're trying to overcome with your program. Now, you may need to do this. I'm not saying completely change your mission statement, but be prepared to tweak that mission statement, right? If you are applying for grants that cover DEI communities. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Let's say you have a program for youth development and you serve Black boys. You're not going to stop serving Black boys. You're going to tweak that language. Now you can say we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys. These are the buzzwords. Look for underserved, underrepresented. We know that means Black, right? Or serving boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities. You see what I'm doing? I'm taking out the ethnicity or the race and I'm putting in the condition, right? The same is true for women. Let's say you have a coaching program. You provide career coaching for women. Again, be prepared if you need to tweak that language because now you're going to say our program offers workforce development support for those facing systemic barriers to career advancement, women, right? Or providing career development services tailored to those who experience what? Unique workforce challenges due to what? Caregiving responsibilities, wage gaps, and systemic inequities. We're talking about women. This is very important for you to get and understand. So I need for you to give me a yes in the chat if you get this. You're going to be prepared to tweak your language if you need to. And you also need to look for these buzzwords. Do you know that workforce development is the hottest category right now for grants? So if what you're doing at all includes creating jobs, skill training, right? That's part of workforce development. So give me a yes if you get this. This is so important for you to understand that you may need to tweak that language. All right. This is how you're still going to get grants, even though DEI has been cut. All right. Because those same foundations, they're tweaking their language. All right. Now let's get back to the basics. What do you need to know about grants? Grants are not paid back. Now, many of you have nonprofits. That's great. Make sure you have your 501c3. That's your tax exempt charitable organization designation by the IRS. All right. It's taking about 8 weeks to get it if you don't have yours yet. Now, this slide is critical for those of you that was mentioning there's money. Oh, there's billions of dollars available. This is the U.S. grant annual funding. This is how much grant money is given out every year. We just got the 2024 numbers in. $200 billion, $200 billion, billion with a B, is being given out every day, right? This is the money that is still available. And as you notice, this is coming from foundations, corporations, and bequest giving. You don't see federal funding anywhere on this slide. The money is available. How are you going to place yourself in a position to get it? And I want you to look at this number, 200 billion, but I don't want you to be intimidated, right? Because too often people see these numbers and they're like, oh, Linda, there's just no way I can get any of this money. It's just like, there's just too much of it. At the end of the day, I need for you to focus on what you need, right? So right now, I want all of you, right? Because it starts up here. I want all of you to place into this chat, I just need a little bit, because you just need a little bit of the $200 billion, right? You just need what you need. So don't be intimidated by these larger numbers when you see them, because focus on what you need, right? Focus on the amount of money that you need. That's right, Nina. I You need what you need, right? Alanda, Tawana, just a little bit. That's right, Katrina, just your portion. Just your portion. That's what I need for you to focus on as you are applying for grants. All right, because sometimes you're going to see these large numbers, but this slide is for you to understand. This money is being given away every single day, including to organizations that look like yours. All right. Now, I need you to be prepared though. I want you to download a software editing tool onto your computer. You decide what it is. I use Grammarly. If you use Grammarly, give yourself some love right now in the chat, because it is amazing. It will literally self-correct as you write. And guess what? It is free. So as you're writing your Word documents, it will self-correct for you. It is amazing. And download this article, Improve Writing Skills Dramatically by Doing These 15 Things. It will help you become a better writer. Grammarly will help you to become a better writer, because you don't need to be a professional grant writer, but I need for you to get your grammar right. And listen, I am a professional editor, a professional grant writer, and a professional writer. I wouldn't write without Grammarly, right? We all need it. We all need it. All right. And it's free. Why is this important? Because I do not want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors, right? You want the foundation to be able to comprehend clearly what it is that you're trying to say. And it's very easy to do. It's very easy to make those grammar errors, all right? Because at the end of the day, you're not a professional grant writer. You don't have to be to win grant money. Now, how else are you going to prepare to apply for grants? Before you write one syllable of that grant application, get your documents in order. Do you have your EIN, your employer identification number? Do you have your 501c3 nonprofits? Small businesses, are you a legitimate organization? Do you have your articles of incorporation? Nonprofits, do you have your list of board members? It is required. All of you should be getting letters of support from people who know and support you in your community. Look, drop names if you have to. Do you know the mayor? Do you know politicians who can write you a letter of support? What about your church, your pastor, community leaders, your vendors? Now, if you're currently operating, yes, you're going to need your financial statement. That includes your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement. I often get asked, Linda, I'm getting ready to write grants. What do I do? This is what you do. You get these documents in order. And then at the end of the day, you need an operating budget. I don't want you to be freaked out by this term operating budget, because all it is a document where you are listing what you think your expenses are going to be for a year. How much money do you think is going to take for you to operate over the course of a year? You've got to sit down and figure this out. And look, there are templates online. So this is not a hard lift at all. All right. All right. Now, let's get to the application. I'm going to show you how to write the major components of a grant application using best practices. So at the end of the day, when you're done with your grant, you've written a story, because that's really what a grant application is. It's an opportunity for you to tell your story. Let's start with the mission. The mission is so much more than what you do and your aims and your goals. Why? Because you need to be aligning your mission to the mission of the foundation. This is why so many organizations get rejection letters. They should never have applied to the grant to begin with. It wasn't a grant for them. Make sure that your mission is aligning with the mission of the foundation. So if you're like laser focused on K through 12 education, make sure they're giving grant money in the area of K through 12 education. So if you don't have a mission statement, that is homework 101 for you. All right? All right. Now, this here can lead you to get grant money. This section of the application, how you describe your organization, is great, but also I need for you to include impact. This is how foundations are giving out grant money. It is based on your impact. It no longer are they giving money to organizations that just have these feel good initiatives like I just want to help save the world. I just want to help end poverty. I want to just help every homeless person. How are you doing it? Define what impact means. It's about transformation. You've got to use numbers, but you've got to show the transformation. Let's say you have an after school program. Don't just say you serve 150 students. What's going on with those students? Did they improve their test scores by 80%? Say so. Did 60% of the students gain confidence, right? Because of your after school program? Say so. That's measurable change. You need to track your success because funders want to see numbers, right? Because numbers prove that your program is delivering real results, right? And if you can, use images, use testimonial videos. Now, let's say you haven't even opened. Let's say you have a startup. I still need for you to talk about impact. Let's say you have a new tutoring program. You haven't even started it yet. You still need to write in that grant application. Let's say you're looking for a startup grant. Write in the application what you expect your impact will be. You can say that once students complete my tutoring program, they're going to increase their reading scores by 15%. They're going to increase their math scores by 20%, which will help them en route to graduating on time. You can project in your startup applications. So whether you are currently open or whether you are going to open, this is what you must do. All right. And as you write, this is important, especially for you small businesses. It's a little bit easier for nonprofits. As you write, always write about what problem it is that you're solving. What is the issue that you're addressing? Why did you open? Why did you open your small business? Why did you open your nonprofit? Because whatever that problem is that you're trying to solve is going to connect you to the foundation that wants to give you grant money. Why? Because they're giving grant money in the same area. So let's say you want to open up an online jewelry store. There's probably a million of them. Why is yours any different? Maybe you create jewelry for people with sensitive skin. That's the problem that you're solving, right? That sets you apart. That makes you a little different. So talk about that. Because believe it or not, yes, there are foundations that give grants to people that open up jewelry stores, right? Which leads me to share something with you. Regardless of what you are doing and your program or your project or your service, if it's legal, there's grant money available for it. You have to know how to research and find it. I'm going to say that again. If you're doing something legal, if you have a legal program or project or service, doesn't matter if you're a nonprofit or for-profit, there's grant money available. You have to find it. This is where you must know where foundations give. What are their areas of interest? Because you need to match those. And how do you find out? You go to the foundation's website. Now, I know 90% of foundations don't have a website, but most of the ones that release applications do. And even the ones that don't, there's a way to find out information about them. All right. Now, all of you have a decision to make. All right. Keep asking your questions. I see some really good ones. Keep asking questions. All right. All of you have a decision to make. Are you asking for operating money or program project money? You've got to decide one or the other per foundation. Only one, either operating or program project. Now, you know, we love to get operating grant money. If you can, Always seek operating grant money. But only about 32% of foundations give it. But guess what? It is remarkable because you get to decide where to put the grant money. You can build capacity because you can spend the money on your salaries, your lease payments, your IT, your marketing. However, most grants go to a program or a project that you're involved in. And yes, as a small business, you can have a project. Let's say you have a bakery and maybe you want to start a delivery service. That could be a project. Or maybe you want to start giving cooking lessons to earn extra money, right, in the community. That's a project. But whatever you do, you must apply to multiple foundations. Now, I want you to tell me why. I want you to tell me in the chat, why do you think it is important that you apply to multiple foundations? Let me know right now in the chat. Why do you think that's important? Because people, this is not a one and done industry, right? This is not a sprint. This is like a marathon. You should always be applying to multiple foundations. Why? Tell me in the chat. Why do you think this is? Why do you think you have to apply to multiple foundations? Why? Let me know in the chat in case you get denied. Tawana, right? Right? Absolutely. Sign you multiple chances to get them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, by the way, just so you know, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you, right? So all of you are going to get a copy of this replay. And guess what? I'm not going to charge you for it because I need for you to get this information, but I need for you to share it with others. So you'll get the replay. You'll have it today. It will be free. You'll have it forever. All right? Yes, Katrina, you don't put all those eggs in one basket, right? And yes, Gigi, it increases your probability of winning. All right. You want to appeal to numerous ones. Keep options open. You may not get the first one, Sharon, absolutely. And that appealing to numerous ones is very, very, very important. And most people don't get that because you can have a program with maybe three different components that would allow you to apply to three different organizations for grant money. There's no maximum amount of grant money that you can get. You get as much as you can, even for the same program, coming from multiple foundations, right? Like, have you ever seen one of these organizations where like they get a $1 million grant? I'm going to take a sip. A year later, they've spent the money and they go out of business because they weren't getting multiple grants. They were relying on that one grant. When the money was gone, so was their organization. That's why sustainability is so important. So important. If you want to know about it, just ask me a question because that's a longer conversation. Community partnerships, critical for all of you. The question will be on the grant application. Each and every one of you, I don't care how small you are, you need to have community partners. Some of them can save your organization. Let me show you how this works. Let's say you have an accounting firm. You can go to your local library. I think libraries, I say this all the time, are criminally underutilized. Give a free tax talk every month. You're going to have a willing audience. Everybody wants to know how to save taxes, right? Save money. Give you a free tax talk. The library is going to promote you. That's what they do. I think they've got everybody's email address, right? They're going to promote you. What does this do for your grant application? Now you have a community partner, the library, but also what does it do for you? It increases your level of visibility because foundations are always looking to see who is doing what in the community and they expect collaboration, right? Some of you have phenomenal programs. Nobody knows about the program. Nobody knows about you, even in your own community. I told you I like to keep it real, right? Whether it's the Urban League, which is a phenomenal community partner, HBCUs, 100 Black Men of America, the why. You need to be collaborating with organizations, right? Let me give you a perfect example of this. Let's say a young lady has an ex-offender program. One of my clients has a phenomenal, met with her yesterday, a phenomenal ex-offender program. But let's say another young lady has an ex-offender program. She wants to make sure that when prisoners are released back into society, they become successful members of the community and they don't go back to jail, right? Nobody wants that recidivism rate to be high. That's the rate at which prisoners go back to jail. I want you to tell me in the chat who you think her community partner should be. Now, she's got to interview the inmates while they're in jail just to make sure they qualify for her program. Once a prisoner is released into society, you want them to be successful. Who should she be meeting with? Who should her community partners be? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. The police, of course, absolutely. She's got to get access to the jail. And plus, they should know that there's a great ex-offender program so that they can refer other systems to her program. Now, once the ex-offender is released, the court systems, absolutely. She's got to meet with the court systems. They need to know about her program. Plus, maybe that ex-offender needs to be able to understand parole, right? Probation officer, Sonia. Do you want them to have a job? What about workforce development organizations, right? You don't want them to commit another crime because they can't earn money. So there, right, job centers, Sher Tarika, there are companies that will hire ex-offenders, right? Right? And Sharon, small businesses who are able to hire ex-offenders. And Sher Tarika is on it, all right? She's like local community college. You know why that's important? Because many ex-offenders, they just need their GED. They just need their GED. And oftentimes community colleges have programs that will help you get your GED, right? And Orlando, yes, the director could be the director of the jail, right? So you see how this is not difficult, people. We've come up with probably 10, 12 different community partners for this young lady. This is what you're going to do. This is your homework. I need you to name 5 organizations that you're going to partner with based on your organization. Name 5. That's your homework. Name 5. You mean at Department of Corrections, Orlando? Absolutely. Absolutely, Department of Corrections. All right, that's your homework. Now, let's get to the money. You need to create a grant budget. Your budget should be itemized. So if you need a $50,000 grant to hire an executive director, you need to itemize. How much money are you paying this director? How many hours a week are they going to work? Are they a contractor? If it's a W-2 person, are you paying them, giving them benefits? How much of the grant money is going towards salary versus benefits? Do you need supplies? How many supplies do you need? How much is each supply? And who's going to be using the supplies? All of that information goes into the budget narrative. The numbers, right, go into the budget, but the explanation of how you're going to be using the grant money goes into the budget narrative. Got it? All right. Oh, and here's a little tip. Always, when you write the budget narrative, always align the grant money that you're asking for back to your mission and the mission of the foundation. So the foundation knows, okay, this person is using the grant money to help us fulfill our mission. All right. All right. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Linda, this doesn't sound too bad, but whew, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to write these grants. I don't have time to write these grants. Remember what I said to you at the beginning that a lot of grants are literally 2, 3, 4 pages, right? And let me tell you that AI will give you your time back. It will give you your time back. And I'm going to show you a little bit about AI in just a couple of minutes. So I have a question for all of you, especially those of you who are thinking, I don't think I have time to write these grants. People, this is free money. So I have a question for all of you, and I would like an answer in the chat. Do you have time to get free money? Do you have time to get free money? Let me see in the chat. Let me see if anybody has time to get free money. I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Yeah, I'm saying indeed. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying I sure do. So it's looking like you've got time to get free money. So if you've got time to get the free money, I just need for you to spend a little bit of time on the process to get the free money. Yes, you're going to create some relationships. This is the slide here. If you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is it. This is often the deciding factor as to whether or not you get a grant. Did you meet with the foundation first? The foundation wants a relationship with you, people. Getting a grant is not a money grab. It is not a money grab. You need to build a relationship. They want to meet with you. They're attempting to give you funding. They want to know more about you. You need to want to meet with them because in this meeting, and I've probably set up 1,000 of them over the past 17 years, in that meeting, that foundation is going to give you insight about that grant that is not even on their website. So you want to be in that meeting. Now, how do you do this? How do you set up the meeting? You're going to send an email. I told you all this was a no fluff zone. You're going to send an email to the foundation. In that email, you are introducing yourself. You are aligning your mission and your program to their mission and their program as to where they give money. Whatever you do not ever ask for grant money in this letter. You're asking for a meeting in this email, right? And then in the meeting, you're going to be asking for the grant money. Got that? Don't ask for money in the email. You're going to get a rejection letter. All right. Ask for a meeting. In the meeting, you're going to ask for the money. Now, we're on to the grant. We're on to the grant research. This is how you're going to find the money. The Foundation Directory Online is the leading source on funders. They give information on the organizations providing grants all over the country, right? And even other parts of the world. So if you're in Detroit and you have a program where you're trying to help place homeless veterans, you plug that information in, they're going to give you a list of foundations and organizations that will fund that type of a program. Now, $50 a month to subscribe or totally free access at your local library. Grants.gov, yes, there are still some federal grants available, believe it or not. Lilly Foundation, do I have any churches or faith-based organizations with me? Yes, there are grants for you. I know of 2 church grants right now, and one is strictly for Black churches. All right, so you cannot believe everything you see on TV about, oh, there are no grants, right? The Lilly Foundation is the largest funder of religious organizations, and they're funding the 2 grants that I'm talking about. One is for worship, and one is strictly for Black churches. All right. Grantwatch.com, they give you the grant list, the synopsis, contact information. They're $20 a week or $200 for the entire year. Grant Station is $200 for the entire year, and they give you grants and trainings. They have a lot of free training. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org is Black owned. They have a weekly grants list and they provide free training. Sign up to their free e-newsletter. Tell them Linda Peavy sent you. All right. If you are a creator, maybe you are a poet, an artist, a writer, an author, a musician, maybe you're in dance, maybe you create films. Grants for Creators is a phenomenal website. And I think they're about $99 a year for grants for creators. The grant portal is $197 a year. It is the internet's largest grant catalog. If you can afford it, we have Instrumental. They offer grants, but they also offer people who will help you do the grant research. $200 a month. All right. So people, Google is fine, but I need for you to use one of these real portals because they are laser focused on grants. Now, let me show you how you use GrantStation really quickly. This is how you conduct the grant research for you, your organization. GrantStation is $200 for the whole year. Look to my right here where it says areas of interest. What is your area? For every drop down box you see, there's probably 20 others. And then put in your, whether it's social services, health and wellness, education, then put in your target population. Who are you helping? Is it African Americans? Is it youth? Is it people who've aged out of foster care? Is it the homeless? Is it veterans? You push a button, you get a list of grants. Now, let me say something to all of you about location because many of you are leaving money on the table. Yes, you are. You're leaving grant money on the table. That's funny, Sankofa. Now, Start local. Start local. And I'm going to give you a freebie, right? I'm going to give you a freebie. It's going to pay for you to subscribe to these portals because some of them are weekly. So like grant watch is $20 a week. Pay the $20 and get you a list of grants. But I'm going to give you a freebie. When we're done, Google local community foundation near me. Google local community foundation near me. One is going to come up because almost every major area in the country has a local community foundation. What they do is give grants. Meet with them. Meet with them. That action alone is going to give some of you some grant money. All right. All right. But whatever you do, start local, local community foundations, local corporations. Don't disregard the national grants because there could be a grant headquartered in Texas and they are giving money to you and you're in Tennessee. And then for my global community, this is for you as well. You don't have to be US based. You could be in Kenya and look for grant money because you have a program in Zimbabwe. Or you could be here in the United States, right? And your program serves people in Belize and you can get grants, right? So this is not just for US based organizations. Now, I'm going to give you this list because I need for you to understand that there are still opportunities period, right? There are grants, period. We saw what did we see earlier? $200 billion being given out over the course of the year. But there are still grants geared for you as a Black organization. There's the Lilly Foundation Black Church Grant. If you go to this list of Black grants at the top, you'll see a list of grants geared towards Black organizations, right? To support Black charities, do you have a Black-led nonprofit? You need to go to that list. HelloAlice.com, they have a lot of small business grants. Operation Hope, this John Hope Bryant, he wants to help build 1 million Black businesses. He's up to 400,000. I won't go through all of these. LISC, they fly under the radar screen, but they've given away over $1 billion to communities of color. You want to open up a Black hair care salon? Shea Moisture. Are you creating a movie about the Black experience? The Ford Foundation. Let's go to Amarillo where it says small because some of you are thinking, oh, Linda, I'm too small. I'm a solopreneur. I have a small nonprofit. Do you know that small organizations get funding too? Amarillo focuses on only giving their grant money to super small organizations. Or you might be saying, Linda, I don't have some huge organizational chart. I don't even pay myself. All volunteer nonprofits get grants too. All right. Do you have a startup? Busy and Sky's the Limit. They both have startup grants. Let me say something really quickly about the Amber Grants for Women because this month, they're focused on education and childcare. So if you have you have a small business that is focused on education and childcare, there's a $10,000 grant. Right. And guess what? They also have a $10,000 startup grant. And they are one of the few organizations that give their startup money to organizations that haven't even earned a dime. They will give you money based on your idea. All right. Now, really quickly, I want you to put into the chat what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Banks and money. Really quickly, banks and money, banks and money, banks and money. What comes to your mind? Enter the chat. Denial, loans. Do you know that banks are some of the largest providers of grant money in the United States? I'm trying to get you to see people that grant money comes from so many other resources outside of the federal government. I'm in Ohio. One of the largest foundations in Ohio is the Key Bank Foundation. I'm giving you 4 hot leads right now. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD Banks, Truist. Make sure you're looking in the chat because I'm putting some important links in the chat. It doesn't have to be your bank. What is a bank that maybe has a good presence in your community? Maybe they have a regional office or headquarters office. Yes, you need to meet with them. Absolutely, you do. Bank of America and Wells Fargo individually give out over $120 million in grants every year. All right. Now, AI. If you're using ChatGPT, wonderful. fantastic. It is a phenomenal tool, but keep in mind, it is a tool, not a replacement for you needing to understand how to write the basics about your organization. So you write the basics or you learn how to write the basics, and then you feed it into AI because you have to give AI prompts and then you feed it information that you've generated. This is how you avoid the legal issues and the ethics issues because you're feeding it information that you have written, that you've generated, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what AI will do. It will perfect it for you, but you've got to learn how to write about your impact and your need and your mission and your history. Nobody knows that but you, right? So then you can use ChatGPT to help you find the right grant funder, to help you reframe, write your DEI mission if that's your category. It can help you align your mission to the mission of foundations. It will absolutely help you write better and more impactful narrative. Absolutely. Because if the grant application says it needs 500 words and you can only get to 300 words, it will stretch your 300 words to 500 words. I talked about letters of support. It will write the letters of support for you so that all you have to do is give them to the people that you want to sign them, right? So it is amazing. You need to have it as a tool along with something that will help you to write the basics about your organization better, right? And let me say this. If you are going to go after grant money, please do so. I beg you to do so in a community where you can get the help that you need, because this is how people give up. I've seen it again and again over 17 years. They get these rejection letters because they're not even applying to the right organizations. So being in a community where you can get the answers that you need, you can get counsel on what grants to pursue, you can get writing tips, you can get the latest grant updates, like the latest lists of grants, but you remain focused and accountable. All right. So I'm giving you the opportunity, if you want to work with me, to work directly with me, because my clients, my nonprofits and small businesses that utilize my framework, they're getting 5 and 6 figure grants right now. And yes, they're Black organizations, right? Oh, and also a community will help keep you from getting scammed. Oh, because the scammers are out there. All right. I especially see them on Facebook because there are no such thing as a guaranteed grant. And I see people giving these organizations so much money because they were told they could guarantee them grant money. And 99.9% of the time, they're scammers because there is no such thing as guaranteed grant money. So I have created a grant course that will teach you how to write about your organization. Literally, this is how I won over $18 million. I put in a course to help you do the same. It is an online digital course. It will teach you how to write every part of the grant application. It will teach you how to do the grant research so that you're finding the organizations that align to your mission and your programming. But here's your secret weapon. It is going to be me, because I'm going to serve as your grant coach. And let me tell you where that comes in, because if you meet with that foundation, do you know what to say? Do you know what you never leave that meeting without knowing? You come into our private Facebook group and you ask questions, and we will help you. And you get real answers, not from bots, but from our community that's there to help each other. There's over 2,000 students just in the Facebook group. I have over 3,000 students completely, but there's over 2,000 in the Facebook group. Just here to help each other. It's all about collaboration, no competition. Because if you write your grant budget, do you know how much money to ask for? Do you know that some foundations don't give you the amount of grant money that you should ask for? They ask you, what do you need? And what you can't do is go in there and say, oh, I need $1 million, because you're not going to get it, right? So that's where you come into the Facebook group and you let us know how we can help. This course that I've written has 12 modules, yes, 35 lessons, you get videos. But what is important is that the last 17 years, I've been hired to build grant applications. I've been hired to literally create the grant questions that you see in some of the grant applications. And I've utilized those questions in my course. So this is like completing an in-depth grant application. And when you're done, you have this beautiful grant template. You're going to use that template to apply for grant after grant after grant. And then you'll have the information if you want to use ChatGPT to plug it into ChatGPT. And this is why it's so much quicker and faster and easier to work from a grant template. It will save you hours and hours. And yes, I give you real grant examples that won money because you need to see what a winning grant looks like, right? And the bonus is you get a list of over 600 organizations that are providing grants. Yes, over 600 for those of you who just need to know where I can get the grants. And I talked about the private Facebook group. We drop grants in there all the time. Oh my gosh, so many grants we drop in the Facebook group. Literally, I was giving a coaching call, and one of the students said, Linda, I literally just got a grant from one of the grants you place in the Facebook group. So this is real, right? This course is for organizations ready to get grant money. And I do one more bonus for you because I said I'm here to help you. You get 1 hour of live group coaching with me. 1 hour of live group coaching with me. Now, here's what you need to know. This is what is just going to literally blow your mind, but I do this intentionally. All right. These amounts that you see is what you should be charged for the course because this is what the course has been proven to be worth because I've had it audited 3 times. I want to make sure I'm giving you what you need. I've had the course audited, 3 independent audits. The modules are worth $3,549. The videos are worth $599. The funding list $499. And yes, you have planners and grant trackers because you need to stay organized. Now, you're not even going to pay a fraction of it because I do not want to be another hurdle, another obstacle in your way between you understanding how to get grant funding. And so I intentionally keep this course super low, so that you can afford it and get help. And that is exactly what's happening because the organizations that spend this small amount of money to get everything that I offer, they're getting grants, right? And I have colleagues that charge $2,000 for their grant writing course. You get no access to them. I'm giving you access to me through the Facebook group and the group coaching that is every single month. This is what you're paying for the course. Yes, it's worth $5,000. The regular price is $997. I have reduced the course this year because of everything that's going on, the crazy stuff that's going on with grants to $497 because I know you need the help. But you hopped on the webinar. You could have been somewhere else at noon, but you came here to let me know you need help. And I appreciate that because there are so many of you who look like you that are not doing this. They just want some money, right? You're spending your time. So guess what? Take off $200. Take off $200 from the $497. It's not a monthly payment, people. It is one payment of $297. I told you I have colleagues charging $2,000 for similar courses. I'm not going to do that to you. Yes, you get the course. Yes, you get the group coaching calls every month. You get the 24/7 Facebook group. Now, yes, I have other programs that are more expensive, which I'll tell you about, but this course is the core because it is getting organizations funding. But you've got to use this code. Make sure you use the code SEPT11 because that will get your $200 off because I'm telling you, everybody else is paying $497. Other people do not have this code. You have this code. If you need 2 months to pay, it's $175 a month for 2 months. And you read right at the end, the course never expires. The course never expires. When do you see that? You know courses expire after what? What do they give you? 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. You get the course, the Facebook group, the coaching, write everything off because it is all tax deductible. Your $5,000 course that you're paying $297 for, you write it off. It is a business expense. Whether you have a nonprofit or a for-profit, you write it off. And yes, for those of you who are asking, you get a certificate at the end. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm trying to make it easy for you. I give you templates. You have a grant application template. Remember I said you need to meet with the foundations. You send them an email. I have the email for you. I have the email template. Remember, I said you need to partner with organizations? I have the partnership template for you. Most of you should be seeking sponsorships. I even have a sponsorship kit you can use, right? Trying to make it easy for you so that you have what you need. The one thing you need to know is you've got 3 days to get this off. You got 3 days to get the extra $200 off, or else you're going to be paying $497. And people are quite happy to pay the $497, by the way. But use your coupon to pay the $297. Now, I am thrilled to introduce to you. This is literally 2 years in the making. It took me 2 years to create a brand new AI powered grants accelerator. So get the course for $297, right? But if you want to know how to master AI that will allow you to write grants, I am not kidding, in an hour or so, 2 hours, it is amazing. Get the grants accelerator along with the course. Now, this is a $3,000 AI course. It's going to be $247. So as you can see, I'm reducing the price as I introduce it. That's the introductory price is going to be $247. The course is not releasing until October 1st. You're going to get the pre-sale price because it's not ready yet. It will be ready in a couple of weeks. October 1st is $97. The $3,000 AI course is $97, people. This is a full course, 8 modules, 20 lessons. You're going to be able to, oh my gosh, use AI like a pro. It's $97. All right. You've got the same 3 days to get it. For those of you who want a little bit more, you're ready for a little bit more. I have a boot camp, 2 days. You're going to be with me privately, 7 hours a day for 2 days. This is not for the weak, all right? Because in these 2 days, you get ready to do some work. 14 hours. I teach you 2 months worth of work in 2 days. You will leave on day 2 with a completed grant application. You will leave with your completed template. You will leave with a complete list of local and national grants. You will leave with your implementation plan. You will know how to use AI. This boot camp includes the grant course and the new AI course. I'm going to teach you AI privately in 2 days. I'm going to teach you how to write grants in 2 days. Keep in mind, on day 2, at the end of day 2, you're going to leave with a completed grant application. It's literally the 2 days spending time with me, $11,000. This boot camp is $1,997. Keisha, who has a child care center, had never written a grant in her life before. She took the boot camp. 6 weeks later, she had her first grant. 2 weeks after that, she had a $100,000 grant, had never written a grant before. So if you're ready, let me know. We set up the 2 days. Now, I want you to see something here. These people here, they just bought the $300 course. That's all they did. They bought the $300 course to teach them how to write. They're not professional grant writers. Nicola got $250,000 in June. These are real people. If you come into the Facebook group, you'll see them. Nicola got $250,000 in June. When the organization looked at her grant application, they're like, this is amazing. We need to counter, because she had only asked for $50,000. We need to counter and offer you $250,000 if you would just extend this to some other locations. That's how tight her grant application was. And by the way, she has a for-profit, for those of you who are thinking that for-profits don't get grants. But she's using my framework. Whitney is using my framework, $200,000. She did exactly what I'm asking you to do. She started local. She has a doula organization, right? Prenatal care for Black women. $40,000 from her utility company. And then she went national. Kanisha, $100,000. Yes, your utility companies, if they're major, if they're large, they have grants, they have a foundation. I'm giving you all kind of nuggets. Kimberly. Kimberly was with me a couple of weeks ago on my grant State of the Union. $84,000. But I think she said it was either 3 or 4 pages for the application. That was it. She said it was one of the easiest ones she had ever applied for. $84,000. These are all Black organizations, by the way. All right. Cherie, $11,000. A therapeutic massage company in North Carolina, $20,000. Remember, I said it doesn't matter what you do, find where you can get the grant money. Christina has an online educational company, $10,000. These are my bonuses for you. If you buy this course by Sunday, that's your deadline. If you're familiar with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce, they have a Buy Black list. It is a list of grants geared towards diverse small businesses or Black-led nonprofits. It's $195 to subscribe. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you the latest one. Free, totally free. I'm going to give that to you. That's your bonus. That's your extra bonus if you buy. All right. Now, we're done. It's Q&A time. So I'm going to stop sharing and go to the Q&A. But for those of you who are asking, I'm going to do this really quickly because you're asking how to get the course. All right, let me share my screen with you really quickly so you can see how to buy the course for those of you who are asking. All right, it's $297, right? That's it, one and done. Click the link in the chat. The link is in the chat. Hit purchase now. It will bring you to this page. Hit have a coupon. Input your coupon. It is SEPT11. Hit apply. You see it takes off $200. People, you're only paying $297. Now, you see this little block here? If you want to meet with me for 1 hour, this is a private VIP session, 1 hour. I'm going to get you together in that hour because in that hour, it's going to be a strategy session. Before you and I talk about grants, I'm going to examine your mission, vision, infrastructure, and your services or your programs. And then you're actually going to leave with a little mini list of grants, but you will have perfect clarity. Many of you have 10 ideas. You're going to leave with one. That is a 1 hour private session with me is $497. The only time you see it reduced to $247 is if you buy it with the course. If you buy it separately, like other people do, is $497. You buy it with the course, is only $247. So you can add it to the course if you want. If you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Remove it. Now, you put in your email. This is something special that we're offering also. If you want to pay the $297, we actually have buy now, pay later. We have Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. If you want the 4 months same as cash, 4 months same as cash, that's $75 a month, people. I don't even know of any $75 grants. When you get your first grant, you have paid for the course. Hit pay another way and then hit new payment method until you see pop up Klarna, or you may have to use a little drop down, Afterpay or Klarna. Hit either one, whichever one you're familiar with. 4 months same as cash if you want to. If you don't want to, we will take a credit card and we take PayPal and Google Pay and Cash App Pay. All right. Now, I said that we have our own little payment plan, right? 2 months. It's $175 a month for 2 months and you're done. Hit 2 times 275 because that's what everybody else is paying for the payment plan. But you came on the webinar, so I gave you a coupon. Click your coupon, SEPT11 with the little T. Put a little T on the end of it. This is for the 2-month payment plan. Hit apply. Now you're only paying $175 a month for 2 months. So you got that discount code for the 2-month payment plan, SEPT11 with the little T for 2-month payment option. And then the regular one to take off the $200, you're paying one payment of $297, SEPT11. All right. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to the Q&A. I see some good questions. One more thing before any of you leave. I don't want you to leave until you do this. This is very important. This starts up here, people. I believe in manifestation. Some of you have been procrastinating. You don't have to say who you are. I know how it is. We all do it. But time is out. Time is out for the procrastination. This money, $200 billion being given out every day. These Black organizations you saw that work with me are getting 5- and 6-figure grants. I want all of you, everybody, before you leave, put into the webinar chat right now, I am ready to get grant money. I believe in manifestation. Like get this out of your system. Release this into the atmosphere. I am ready to get grant money. Some of you have to speak this into the universe. That's right, Marlena, all of you write this down before you leave here. I am ready to get grant money. This is not for me. This is for you. Tawana, Kathy, Sonia, Marlena, this is not for me. This is for you. Cynthia, I'm ready to get grant money. Shatarika, I'm ready to get grant money. Don't do this for me. Do this for you. Write this down for you. Because some of you have been after this money for a long time, and some of you have received so many rejection letters because you don't know what to do or where to go. Like, help me help you. It's less than $300, right? For the course where you get the Facebook group. Ask me the question. You get the monthly live group coaching sessions for less than $300. Your first grant will be more than that. All right? Shirley, Sharon, Nagembi, Kathy, LT, Alonda, Sankofa, Kathy, that's what I'm talking about. Do this for you. Now let me go to the questions. How to win a grant with just an idea? That's a startup grant. And so Amber Grants for Women. I'm going to take a sip and then write this into the chat. Amber Grants for Women. They have a startup grant, $10,000 based on an idea. The SBIR, which is a government grant, believe it or not, is still functional. Those are $1 million grants. Those are government $1 million grants that are based on research. So if you have an idea that involves research and development, the SBIR grant, I'm going to put that in here too. SBIR, government grant, typically for $1 million or more. Idea based. Next question. Do you have to have an LLC, DUNS number, or EIN? You have to have an EIN. You should have an EIN. You don't need an LLC because you have sole proprietors that get grant money. So you don't need to have an LLC to get grant money. No. The DUNS number, there is no such thing any longer. There's no such thing as a DUNS number anymore. It's called a unique identity, unique entity identifier. I'm going to put it in the chat. So no DUNS number. It equals UEI, unique entity identifier. Identifier, go to the federal government to get it. I believe it's called login.gov, where you can get your UEI. All right. But your EIN is your employer identification number. That's something totally different. You need that. All right. I'm going to go back up to the webinar chat because I saw quite a few questions. Okay, I'm going to go down slowly and answer your questions. Let's see. So yes, there's $200 billion in non-federal funding being given out. Do you have a list of companies that are receiving grants right now? Yes, I placed a little list in the webinar. And another service that I provide is we do grant research, right? So if an organization wants us to create a custom list of grant opportunities just for your organization, we provide grant research. Those reports start at $1,500. But I gave you a list of grants right in the replay. You're going to get a copy of the replay today. So just go back through the replay. All right. That's right. Sharon says, I'm not greedy. I just need a pinch of that $200 billion. All right. Can you write grants from an LLC, or does it have to be a 501c3? So you're equating LLC with a small business, which is fine because it is a small business. But I'm saying to you that as a small business, you can win grant money. As you could see, some of the testimonials that I shared with you were small businesses that got 6- and 5-figure grants, Black-owned businesses right now. So yes, you can be an LLC and get a grant. You don't have to be a 501c3. You don't have to be a nonprofit. But I'm saying to you that you don't, as a small business, you don't have to be an LLC. You can be a sole proprietor and get grant money. All right. Everybody will get the replay. Absolutely. Let's see what we have here. Nina, thank you. Nina says the only grant, oh my gosh, Nina, I may have to use this. Nina says the only grant you for sure won't get is a grant for which you don't apply. And there you go. There you go. You can't apply. You can't win grants if you don't apply. How soon do you have to file the grants on your taxes? So you're filing the grants when you complete your tax return. So grant money is taxable to small businesses. It's not taxable to nonprofits because you don't pay taxes, right? But when you get a grant, it is taxable if you have a small business. So when you file your taxes on your Schedule C, right? You're going to get a document. You have to list it as income. So you have to list the grant as income on your tax return. All right, let's see. Everybody will get the replay. So it's $297. That's it. That's one and done. Like that's not a monthly amount for those of you who are thinking it is. That is literally, I know it seems hard to believe, but that is it. It is $297, one and done. You have 3 days to use your coupon to get this entire course for $297. If you want the new AI Grants Accelerator, it's $97 for the next 3 days. It's going to be over $200 once it releases. All right, let's see. Let's see. Someone said banks don't serve Black people. That's absolutely not true because I have worked with banks to get grant money for Black organizations. It depends. This is why I believe that being in a community where you get correct information is so important because there's so much misinformation out there. If you're going to write grants, if you're going to seek grant money, please come into a community. I'm inviting you into my community. I've been in this industry 17 years. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. All right. I can help you. I can help you. But it depends on what bank you go to. Like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD Banks, and Truist, they have all given grant money to Black organizations, every single one of them. And Truist is, they actually have a grant program for Black organizations. All right. So Sankova says AI helped her to revise and create her entire business plan. It is amazing. AI is amazing. You have an opportunity to learn it for $97. I mean, learn it thoroughly for $97 if you buy the AI accelerator. All right. All right. Let's see. Other questions. Other questions. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, Square has a $10,000 grant. I've heard of that grant before. And I think it's a startup grant. I think the Square grant is a startup grant. Do the grants include money for transportation and building funding for the business? What do you mean building funding? So I mentioned earlier that it does not matter what you do, grants are available if it's something legal. So absolutely, there's grant money for transportation. And this is what I want all of you to do, because this is where a lot of you miss out. You're not going to your own industries. So let's say you have a transportation company. You should be applying for all of the transportation grants from transportation companies. FedEx has a grant. UPS has a grant. Every major airline has a grant. That's your own industry. That's your transportation industry. You're in the hair care salon industry. Apply to Shea Moisture. They make shampoo and conditioner. They have a grant if you want to open up a hair care salon. Go to your industry as well as other organizations. Remember, there's three areas where you seek grants. One is based on your mission. Align your mission to the mission of the foundation. Number two is your industry. That's where many of you miss out. And number three is your ethnicity or your gender, because as you can see, there are still grants that are geared towards women organizations. There are still grants geared towards Black organizations. You need to look beyond those grants, but don't disregard those grants. All right. All right. What if you want to wait a couple of weeks before you dive into the grant writing process? That's fine. I would highly recommend you still get this course because you need to know how to do the research, right? Because again, so many organizations get rejection letters because they're not even applying to the right organization. Learn what is going to be required of you before you even start. So module one is the welcome module. Read it. Read it. Gives you a nice overview. Can you give details about the U.S. chambers? Yes. So the Black U.S. Chamber of Commerce is the Black organization that is that the leading organization of all of the different local Black Chamber of Commerce organizations that you see across the country. So there's one main organization called the Black U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They have the Buy Black list that is a guide of grants geared towards small businesses and nonprofits. But I would highly recommend that you join your local Black Chamber of Commerce because many of the local organizations have grants. They give grants, right? So join your local Black chamber. I belong to like my local Black chamber. I belong to the National Black Chamber, the U.S. Black Chamber. I belong to the regular, right, chamber in the city where I live. I belong to all of them. I just keep it covered. All right. Let's see. But you can ask your questions here in the chat or the Q&A. Let's see here. You can ask your questions here in the chat or the Q&A. My industry is travel and would like to get grants to take youth around the world for educational purposes. Is that possible? Yes, there are grants for that, absolutely. And I'm going to use you as an example. So here's a young lady, I think, I don't make any assumptions on names, so tell me if I'm wrong. She wants, her industry is travel. She wants to get a grant or grants to take youth around the world for educational purposes. There are multiple categories where each and every one of you should be applying for grants. I'm going to use her as an example. Multiple categories. One, she is in the travel industry. She should be applying to other organizations in the travel industry that have grants. As I mentioned, every major airline has a foundation and a grant program. You should be applying to the airline industry for grants, right? Also, travel. There are travel associations. Find out whether or not they have grants. Your target population is youth. Okay, so that's one. So one area is the travel industry. That's one place where you should be seeking grants. Number two, your target population is youth. Search for grants that are geared towards programs to help youth. That's number two. You're a person of color. That's number three. Search for grants that are geared towards Black-led organizations. You're a woman, I'm assuming. Search for grants geared towards women-led organizations. That's we're at four. Your fifth category, you are wanting to take them around the world for educational purposes. Now you're in the area of education. Now you're going to be seeking grants that are geared towards organizations that teach. So you have five separate categories where you should be seeking grants. This pertains to all of you. All of you have multiple categories. All right. All right. How long does it take for a grant to be approved after it's submitted? Up to 3 months. Up to 3 months. Sometimes it's a lot faster, depending on the deadline. So let's say the deadline is September 1st and you applied close to September 1st. Let's say you applied like maybe August 22nd. That's pretty close to the deadline. That means you're probably going to hear back a little faster because they're going to start the process soon after September 1st of deciding who gets the grant. So instead of the normal 3-month process, because you've applied closer to the deadline, it probably won't be 3 months before you hear. So, Tia-san, I said travel, travel industry, Black, youth, women, and education. That's your five. One, two, three, four, five. All right, let's see here. Where do you find these grants? Okay, go back to the slide, and I showed you where to find the grants. So choose what portal you're going to use. All right. It could be Grant Station, it could be Grant Watch, it could be the Foundation Directory online, right? The course will teach you how to find the grants. That's what the course is for. It will teach you, there's an entire module on the research where it will teach you how to find the grants. All right. All right. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's see. There's another question in the Q&A. Can you apply if you are part of more than one association? Yes. But you have, so I think I know what you mean. Maybe you need to explain it a little bit further. Do you have your own EIN or do you have your own EIN? Do you have your own separate organization? When you say you're a part of another organization, I'm not sure what you're asking. Part of, if you are part of more than one association. Rephrase that so I know what you're asking. Can you please put me in contact with the travel and youth and education case? No, you will be researching to find grants in that area. That's what you do. You research to find the grants, right? So the course will teach you how to do research so that you find grants in the travel industry, in the youth industry, in the educational industry, church. Oh, okay. So you're part of a church and you have your own LLC. So you're going to be seeking grants for your own LLC based on whatever it is you do, but you also will be seeking grants for your church based on what grants the church needs. This course is for everything, right? It will teach you how to search for grants no matter what industry you're in. But you're just going to be searching two different categories. One is going to be for churches based on whatever ministry you have or whatever outreach you have. And then you're also going to be searching for grants for your own LLC. But the process is the same, right? You're just, when you get into the grant search portal, right? You search for different areas of interest. And so when you buy the course, what I do for that monthly group coaching call that is supposed to be for questions, I can tell you that most people ask me to search for grants for them, which is perfectly okay. So when we get into that group coaching call, people will say, Linda, this is my organization. I need help finding grants. I will literally do the grant search like live for them and give them the link to where they should be applying for grants. But the course will teach you how to do that. You come into the Facebook group, you ask questions, you will get answers. And I'm going to do something special for all of you. When you come into the Facebook group, I'm going to ask you for a synopsis of your organization. So I'm going to ask you to give me maybe 3 or 4 sentences about your organization and your location and whether or not you are a nonprofit or a for-profit. When you answer my question, I'm literally going to give you some links. Someone was asking for links. If you buy the course and you come into the group and you answer my question, I'm going to give you links. So you're going to tell me, Nagimbi, about your organization in the Facebook group. And based on what you tell me, I'm going to give you some links to educational grants or youth grants or travel grants or whatever your organization is providing. So that's what I will do special for you if you buy the course and come into the Facebook group, because people at the end of the day, I'm not asking you $2,000. whereas many other courses are $2,000. I'm asking you for $297, right? So that you can get the help because you've got to invest in yourself just a little. You have to. There's too much grant money available for you not to be looking for grants, right? And those people that you saw that are in my course that are getting grants, they're in the Facebook group. You can come in and ask them questions as well. They're real people in the Facebook group. But you've got to be able to invest a little bit in yourself. You're asking for free money, right? You're literally getting free money, right? Invest in yourself just a little bit to learn how to get it. And people, time is money because so many organizations I speak to have spent so much time trying to get grants and not getting a single one because they weren't doing it correctly. They weren't applying to the right foundations. They didn't know what to say. They didn't know how to write the grant application, and they have spent sometimes years. One lady told me she had a nonprofit for 17 years. She hadn't received one grant. It literally hurt my heart to hear it. Time is money. Like you have to ask yourself, how much time have I wasted? How much time have I wasted trying to get grant money and I didn't know what I was doing? I didn't know where to go, what to ask, whether this was even the right grant for me, right? You waste a lot of time doing that when you don't know what to do, when you're not in the framework, when you're not in the community. And so I keep the price of my course super low so that it can literally help more organizations. It's not because I have to, but I choose to do that to help more organizations because people need what you're doing. Like people need what you're doing. The need didn't disappear. The need is as great as ever for what you're doing. But yes, it's a process. Invest a little bit of money to help you get to where you need to go. All right. Let me just see if there are any other questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Let's see. Nope, I answered all of the questions in the Q&A. Let me go over to the webinar chat. Make sure I've answered them all. You have 3 days. You have until Sunday to use this code to get everything I talked about for $297. The AI course is only $97. You don't even need a code. You have until Sunday to get it for $97. But the course, the main course, you have until Sunday. All right, let's see. Let me make sure. All right. And also, if you know anybody that wants to join us tonight, Melissa, if you could drop two things into the chat. First of all of you, please put my email on your email list because you're going to get the replay to your email. So I don't want it going to your spam. I want you to be able to get the email. So my email is being placed into the chat. Please just add it to your email contact list so that when you get my email with your replay link and with the code to purchase the course over the next 3 days, it won't go into your spam and you'll get it. Yes, you can do the AI without the course. If you want to just buy the AI guide, you can buy the AI guide for $97. Yes, you can do the AI without buying the course. Absolutely. That's why I offer them separately. So if you want to just get the AI, you can get the AI. My email address is dropped into the chat. Place it in your email list so that the email will not go to your spam. Also, I will be live at 7 o'clock. If you know anybody that you can share this information with, that you feel they need this information, please give them the link. The link is in the chat where it says webinars.grantwritingfornonwriters.com/Black-led webinar. Give them that link so that they can register because you have to be registered to register tonight. All right. This has been so helpful. Thank you, Shaterica. I recently left an organization. When I got there, they only had $4,000 in the account, and with no with no grant writer. I think you meant grant writer. I was lucky to receive some grants that I wrote and left them excellent with $100,000 in the account. So now I'm in the process of starting my own organization. Excellent. So this was neat. I'm definitely doing the course. Good. Just so you know, I have professional grant writers in the course. I have professional grant writers who take the course because they want to be up to speed on what they should be doing. And I teach grant writing all over the country now, and they want to be taught grant writing by me. So they take the course. And they're in the Facebook group. So, yes, I have grant writers in the Facebook group that are taking the course right along with everybody else. All right. I want to wrap everything up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hopping on. I know you could have been elsewhere. So keep in mind, you've got 3 days to join this community so that you can start winning grants. All right. My name is Linda Peavy, creator of the course of Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals, and the new AI course, AI Powered Grants Accelerator, right? Winning proposals faster. All right. Whatever you do, people, do not stop here. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. This is so important that you don't be discouraged because the money is available and there are people that need your services. So keep moving forward. I'm going to change the view here. Keep moving forward, right? People need what you are providing, whether it's your nonprofit or your small business. Like, don't let this be another webinar that you sit on and that you don't do anything with the information. Use it. You'll get the replay. And hopefully, I will see you in the grant writing course over the course of the next 3 days. Again, if you come in, for those of you who are buying, you get 3 emails. One email will be that link to the Facebook group. Once you get in, answer my question. I'm going to help you right away. And then another email will be your username and your password. You don't wait for me. Everything's online, everything's digital. Come to the Facebook group with your help. Come to those group coaching calls. And by the way, they're all recorded, and you will get a recording of all of them when you get into the Facebook group. You'll see that there are recordings of every single prior coaching session so that you get the help that you need. Because typically, somebody on that coaching call is asking you the same question that you are. All right. All right. Feel empowered. Sharon, you can do this. Like I said, when you get into the Facebook group, you'll see people that look like you that have won grant money, right? It's possible. It's possible. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate you hopping on, and hopefully I will see all of you in the grant writing course throughout the next 3 days. Like, let our community help you be in a space where you no longer have to be confused about where you should be going or how you should be writing or you should be applying to. All right. So thank you so much. My name is Linda Peavy. I want you to have a blessed and a safe day and weekend. And whatever you do, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.